Hi, so this is another haul video, but this is a whole video of odds and ends of graphic novels, etc., that I've picked up these past few weeks. So these are ones that weren't from my MegaCon haul, and they weren't from when I did my comic book crawl through Leeds. So these ones I picked up, which were coming, which I'd ordered, but they just haven't come yet, and some that I've ordered this week as well. A lot of them are from eBay. But these first three that I'm going to show, these ones that I've got, the first one I got from Waterstones, and the other two that I'm going to show, I got really cheap deals from on Amazon. So the first one is It's Lonely at the Centre of the Earth. Got this with my birthday money, and this is an autobiographical graphic novel by Zoe Foregood. I've wanted this for a long time. It's meant to be very warts and all, really pushes the boundary of what you can do with comics. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. I will do a review of this when I read it, so pleased with that. And then completely different, big dumb mindless fun. This is the Hulk, the Red Hulk. So it's Who's the Red Hulk, the Epic Collection. I got this for just £15, which is a really good price for a brand new Epic Collection. So this is the story by Jeff Loeb, and predominant amount of the art is done by Ed McGuinness. It's huge, dumb fun. It plays to the strength of Ed McGuinness's huge, big, bulky artwork, and it works so well. It's great fun. I've read about 7 or 8 issues so far, and I'm enjoying it. It shouldn't be as much fun as it is because, like I said, it's basically just one big slugfest, one big fight all through the whole issues, but it works. It's just great. This is when Jeff Loeb still had some of his mojo. He's very hit and miss nowadays, but he's definitely hitting on this. And the art's by Ed McGuinness. It's just absolutely widescreen and gorgeous. Really happy with that. And then my favorite period of the Avengers is from about the 1977 to like the early 80s. So this is from that range. Again, a good deal I got in an Epic collection. This is the Yesterday Quest, and I'm really happy with this because it features one of my favorite superhero teams, which is the original Guardians of the Galaxy, the one that was based in the future, which had people like Van Sastro, etc., and Starhawk. This is my Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's got gorgeous art by Joyce Perez and John Byrne, written by Jim Shooter and David McElhinney. It's just good fun. I know it's going to be a good Avengers comic if the Beast and Wonder Man are in it. What I don't like about the new Avengers is how they're just trying to replicate the Justice League now by just having all the heavy hitters. What made the Avengers good in the 70s and 80s was when they had a real mixed bag of characters, where they had characters who weren't strong enough to support their own title, and that just made it more interesting. And that's what you get with here. It's a big, sprawling, cosmic epic, which again, Marvel Cosmic, one of my favourites lines of comic storytelling in Marvel. So I'm really pleased that I finally got hold of this. I've not read this in years, so it's a nice trip down memory lane. So yeah. And next up is stuff I got from different sellers on eBay. Some that just deal with new books and others that are second-hand sellers. First up is Pure Nostalgia Buy, and I'm really pleased I bought it. And it is, get it in order, a 6-issue series from 1980, started in 1985 from Epic, when Epic wasn't the big chunky collections, but it was actually a comic line. They were like the precursor of Vertigo and Dark Horse Comics. There was an initiative from Marvel to start doing creator-owned comics, and this is when people geek your hard jokes about how I'm a DC show, he's a Marvel show. I'm very much an equal opportunity show. I love both companies equally, but I give more love to DC nowadays because they've just got their act together more. They've got better creative teams all overall. But back in the mid '80s, Marvel was, I'd say, they were leading the way because you had people like Archie Goodwin overseeing the lines of the Epic comics. They had titles like Moonshadow, Alien Legion, and this one here, Boss Chronicles, Coyote, you name it, so many good comics. But this one was a particular favourite of mine. But I never had the final issue for some reason. Maybe it was because in 1985 I was 15, so I had to get these with my pocket money. So my pocket money only stretches so far, especially when it was like what they used to call Baxter format, which is this paper. So Brett Blevins was the artist, and David McElhinney was the writer, and it's a Victorian era set alternate sci-fi story. Really, really, really good. Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. So can't wait to dive into this. I am going to be getting some more Epic collections because it's definitely one of my favourite comic lines. I mean, Six from Sirius was amazing. Moon Shadow was amazing. Alien Legion was fantastic. They were just really, really good. Still Grip Starkey, not so great, but yeah, just fantastic, fantastic comics. Electra Assassin got the start in this in Epic. Just really fantastic series. So yeah, I am going to be getting some more. Just when things pop into my head, what I'd like to try again. So yeah, got a very good deal with them. And then I talked about the Guardians of the Galaxy earlier. Got this collection which features their original appearances. So this is what I think takes the majority of the first Guardians of the Galaxy Epic collection. Got this for a really good deal. I think about £6, I think it was, with free postage. So yeah, this is my Guardians. Not the current one, but this. I just love this. And another fantastic deal for only £6 again. I used to love the Black and White Marvel Essentials range, the big chunky books, and the DC Showcase ones. And I got this DC Showcase in near mint condition, just a little ding at the top there. And it's the first volume of Phantom Strange, about 550 pages. And it's got writers like Denny O'Neil, Len Wein, people like that. And majority of the art is done by Jim Aparo, and Neil Adams does some art as well, and other great artists. But I'm a huge Jim Aparo fan, and I love DC's supernatural range of stories. And these are a great blend of like the Phantom Strange being the main character, and in others he's more like the host, like a Rod Sterling kind of host of Twilight Zone. And they just really, really look great in black and white. Jim Aparo's artwork works really well in black and white, so it's a great, great, great purchase. And what I've started doing recently, my favourite character in Marvel out of any characters is Deathlock. I've liked every iteration of Deathlock, from the original one by Rick Buckler through to the reinvention by Dwayne McDuffie and Dennis Cohen, and then others by Joe Casey, etc. I've always liked Deathlock. So recently, when I was at the MegaCon, I picked up the free-issue Captain America run with Deathlock in, which was illustrated by Mike Zeck, written by Jim DeMatteis. And it just made me want to get the rest of the stuff what I used to have years ago. So what I've got coming soon is Panini did like the DC Comics compact format. They did a similar types range of books like that kind of like manga stylized books. And they did one collecting the original run of Deathlock by Rick Buckler. So that's coming soon. That should be with me in the next day or two. And I'll be getting the DC Compact Kingdom Come with that as well. But talk about Deathlock, what I did get this week is Deathlock Souls of the Cyberfolk. So this is by Dwayne McDuffie, Gregory Wright, and illustrated by Dennis Cowan. So this collects the first 15 issues and annual number one. I've also got a bid in at the moment for the preceding 4-issue Prestige format series, which is where this team first started. But this is gorgeous, a really chunky book, about 440 pages. But Dennis Cohen's artwork in this is just wonderful. I used to get this monthly when it came out back in the early 90s. It's just a really, really good, hard-boiled, sci-fi tinged thriller with Dennis Cohen just going wild on the artwork. I highly recommend hunting this down. I managed to get this for a really, really good price. I always set myself a limit when I'm bidding on stuff on eBay. And yeah, I got this for a very, very good price. But yeah. But going a bit further on in the future of Deathlock, I got this one, again for a steal. Rage Against the Machine. This is a Joe Casey one. It's got the whole series. And Leonardo Manco is the main artist on it. But it starts with Joe Casey's cable run with Ladron, who did its best Jack Kirby impression, which introduces this storyline, setting up the introduction of this new version of Deathlock. Carries over to the X-Men. And then the series kicks off here. I think there's about 11 issues of the original series. Yeah, can't wait. So I am also going to get the series that came out in 2014, and I'm going to get Savage Avengers as well, which was written by David Post because Deathlock's in that. So there's 2 volumes, 2 collections of that which I'll get. And there's a Charlie Houston series, I think it's Charlie Houston, who did a 7 issue series which has been collected. So I'm going to look out for that as well. And then I should have the full Deathlock experience. So yeah, made it with that. And then this one has been a series I've wanted to get for years, and it's now been released in DC Finest. So before um, Legends, so there's a series called Legends, which came out after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it kind of like reset DC Comics in 86, 87, and it launched it as what now modern DC is known for. But just before that, after that came the Justice League International series by Jim DeMatteis and Keith Giffen and Kevin Maguire, which I adored. It's easily my favourite run of Justice League ever. But I used to collect the series before that religiously, month in, month out. Um, so in a way, this one has my heart more because it's the one where I really got heavily involved in Justice League, and this was the Justice League of America, the Detroit series, which was written by Jerry Conway, and the art was by Luke McDonnell, who then went on afterwards to do Suicide Squad. I think he then fell out of comics and started doing storyboards, but he had a very distinctive style. But this is like the reason I like this is special to me. I don't know if I mentioned this, might have done earlier at the beginning of this. I like superhero teams like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the original one, and Defenders, where it's made up of a ragbag team of like C-listers, heroes who aren't really that great, but as in a team together, they're interesting, and that's what I liked about this because it didn't just have the main A-list characters. It had a few like Martian Manhunter, Batman pops in occasionally, but it's mostly Aquaman occasionally. But some main ones were Ralph Dibny, Martian Manhunter, Zatanna. This is misleading because it shows all these. But it was more about the characters that joined them. So you had Gypsy, he had Sarge Steel, Vibe, who was very much an 80s creation, and Vixen. So so they ended up becoming more like that. It had a very similar feel for me to the New Teen Titans, and I used to adore this comic. So when this came out as a release for DC Finest, I pre-ordered it straight away. I thought, "There's no way I'm missing this," and I got it for a really, really good price. So this contains the whole run of that team. Of when I started collecting it, I think it was. I think it came out. Yeah, I think there's a book before it, if I remember rightly. But this is the one where when I started collecting it. Um, yeah, because I'm sure there was some earlier issues. But yeah, really, really happy with this. So yeah, this is the one before it will deal with like when they were slowly introduced, but it weren't the major one. But this is like when they really made a big push to make Justice League of America the Detroit storyline, the predominant version of the Justice League for that period of the 80s. And yeah, really, really good. So if you've never tried it, do give it a read. It's very different to any Justice League title out there. Very, very enjoyable. Really good feel. And then I read the first volume of this, so I got this for a really good price, and I had to get it because it's Booster Gold, and I love this cover. It's so cheesy. It just fits in with the whole Booster Gold brand. Um, the first volume, because it covers the complete 2007 series. First one was a chunky book, but it was predominantly written by Jeff Johns, which was good. But this for me is better because it's got the OG creator Dan Jurgens doing the writing and the art, with inking by Norman Ratmond. And Dan Jurgens, he is Booster Gold. He created Booster Gold. So I just know I'm going to enjoy this more because it's his baby. Booster Gold's one of the best character creations of the 80s. Um, it was genius. It's a great time traveling action adventure. He's a buffoon who shouldn't be likable, but Dan Jurgens made him extremely likable. And he's become a solid fan favourite now. So can't wait to dive into this. And I think there's going to be a third and final volume coming out this month. So I just got this in the nick of time. So yeah, I'll most likely do a read for this soon and a review. So Booster Gold, Justice League, Deathlock, Deathlock, Phantom Stranger, Guardians Galaxy, Lost Chronicles, Avengers, Hulk, and Lonely at the Centre of the Earth. So quite a mixed bag, quite a lot of variety there. Obviously, I won't be able to read them all at once. So mostly do what I like to do is have about 3 or 4 on the go. So I've already started on the Avengers and the Hulk, and I think I'll start dipping into Booster Gold and maybe Phantom Stranger or one of the Deathlock books. But yeah, I do recommend trying different eBay sellers, but don't go for the first one you see. Do hunt around because you can normally get good deals if you do. This is what I do with a lot of my graphic novels. I hardly ever buy. I buy a lot of my graphic novels second hand or at a good reduced price. Even though it looks like I buy a lot, I get them for a very good deal. Okay, so we'll be doing some features on some of these in future times. If you want me to do more hauls like this, do let me know. I will be doing a review episode soon of the comics I picked up this week, hopefully tomorrow or Sunday. So yeah, that's it. And I shall speak to you soon. Bye.